I'm going to show you how to edit or create your first blog post in the already sort of pre-set up post that WordPress has created. So the very first thing that we want to do is take out where it says my first blog post, because that just kind of looks sort of like amateur. I mean, if you're just doing basic blogging, that's okay, but for something a little bit more professional, we want to have a more interesting title. So you can delete that out, and I'm going to put in, you can write your title maybe even after you've created your content, but try to think of something that's descriptive and also catchy. So I'm going to put 5 ways to, and numbers are always good, you can come up with a list, 5 ways to succeed in web design, the DE section, and of course you'd want to make this for your particular site topic. Then you'll see this, and this is a secondary heading, and I don't really think we need this, so I'm going to delete this out. You can put one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to where it says more options. I'm going to remove that. And then the next thing we want to remove, this is sort of preset into everybody's new blog, but again, it's going to look kind of amateurish if this is on your site. So we can click here and click remove block and take that out, and now we can start putting in our actual content. So you can actually start typing in here, or you can copy and paste your post if you've written it in Word, either way. So I'm going to start typing my post. And I'm not going to type out the whole thing, since that would take forever, but just to give you an example of how this kind of works, or how this would kind of look, I wanted to kind of start with that. And again, remember, you can do the large drop cap if you like that option. That's kind of neat. That's something that's very new to WordPress. Another thing to make sure that you definitely do is come over to Document and assign a category. So your posts are always going to be automatically uncategorized. You want to unclick that and click Add New Category, and then you want to give it a new category name. So I'm going to call this Student Success, and you want to think in terms of how you're going to set your site up. So category names have to do with the sort of subsections that are going to be of information that are going to be within your site. And that's kind of hard to do initially, but just sort of do the best you can, and you can always come back and change it or add additional categories. You can put posts under more than one category, actually. So once you've done that, make sure you click Add New Category, and then, oops, I think I did that twice. And then you've got that new category up there, and that's all set to go. Now we're going to come down here, and we're going to add some tags. So that's another thing that we want to definitely make sure that you do. So under tags, that's going to have to do with keywords that are sort of the primary content or related to the primary content of your post. So I'm just going to pretend that my post is all written out. I'm going to think of some key things. These are for search engines. You want to usually have about 2 of these at least. You don't want to have a whole mess of them, because a lot of search engines actually don't like that. But you do want to have at least a couple, and then it also helps WordPress organize your site too when you put that content information in there. So I'm going to put, let's say we've got some distance education success, web design education, some things along those lines. Okay, and then we can always come back and add other ones if we think of something that's relevant. And the other thing that you definitely want to make sure you include here is your featured image. So you're going to come down to featured image and include an image that you've taken yourself to go along with the post. You can also include other images definitely in the post too, but make sure you have a featured image. And so you're going to click there, select files because you're going to upload, be uploading. We want to normally optimize our photos before we bring them in, but in this case we haven't gotten to the chapter yet where we look at how to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and work with the regular photo. So our initial photo may be a little bit larger than we really want all of our photos to be, and again we'll talk more about that. But at least we'll have a photo up there or photos to go with that beginning post, and then we could always go back and tweak those later. So once you get that photo up there, I'm going to put just a little alt text description. If you remember, we talked about that when we talked about accessibility. So we can say person looking at computer screen, and then you should be able to, once the photo is completely uploaded, and mine's just being a little bit slow, once it's completely uploaded, then you can click select. When you're all finished with your post, the next thing that you want to do is make sure that you go up to the top, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on this. When you're all finished with your post, what you want to make sure to do is go up to the top and click publish, so that you don't lose your work. So definitely make sure that you click publish so that your post is saved. And then after that, if you need to come back and update it or revise it, you can definitely do that. But make sure you hit that initial publish when you're finished. And I'm just going to stop here because I think my computer is either frozen or it's just going to take a while to bring this image in. So just to keep this video short, we'll stop here because we've covered everything that we need to.